Hello, this is Lady Boulay, and I hope you're having a wonderful day. Thank you for your support. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for your thumbs up, and thank you for your comments. Thank you for all you do to support the channel. And yes, we are commanded to know one another, whether we want to or not, or whether we agree with each other or not. Y'all know I'm on TikTok a lot, and over on TikTok, they are still arguing with Africans about whether or not we have culture. Now, I don't know why that's important to them. I don't argue with Africans. I will talk to you, my people, but I don't get into arguments about them about whether or not we have culture because, first of all, I don't understand why that's important to them. What difference does it make to them whether or not we have culture? And number two, what difference does it make to them what we call ourselves? They are all up in arms, those Africans in particular, because Black Americans are saying we are not Africans, we are foundational Black Americans. And they are just crashing out over that. Why would they care? And I don't think Black Americans care about what they call themselves or whether or not they have culture. My thing is that I don't care what your culture is. I don't want it. I don't want your culture. I am perfectly happy with what we have here in America. We don't have to explain anything to anybody. And you don't have to keep proving anything. Because first of all, these people are very ignorant. They don't know what culture is. They really don't. And they want to take something that they've been doing in Africa and say that's culture and that's all that's culture. And they are wrong. They are absolutely wrong. See, the crazy thing is that they won't stay out of Black American business. They won't stay out of Black Americans' business because they build their platforms talking about Black Americans. So I was blocking them from my TikTok channel before they started the block party. Now Black Americans are making a point of blocking Africans from their channels because they come on your channel trying to provoke you so you'll respond to them and get their numbers up, get their subscribership and their viewership up so they can make money. I don't give them any play. I don't stitch anything, and I don't respond to what they say. But there are Black Americans who feel like they have to keep responding to them. So I'm going to show you some videos of what I'm talking about. So this Black American content creator is responding to an African who said, we're talking culture. You're here mentioning music genres. Every ethnicity has that. So the way it works is that anything Black Americans count as culture, they dismiss it. And that is why they're ignorant. And that's why they don't deserve to be responded to. But some Black Americans keep doing it. So let's hear what she had to say to this comment that music is not a part of culture.
Not only are you being dismissive, but you're being straight up disingenuous because since when did music not be a part of culture? I feel like you guys love to move the bar around when it comes to us. It's like if we mention our music, then you say, well, everybody has music. If we mention soul food, well, everybody has soul food. If we say line dancing, well, everybody dances. Well, damn, I mean, if that's the case, then I guess nobody has a culture. Our culture is not supposed to look exactly the same as anybody else's. Like you guys are always going back to this ancient traditional style culture that does not fit. It doesn't fit who we are. We're not going to have a traditional culture that goes back thousands of years in the way that you guys may have who have been living in the same place and doing the same thing and not progressed at all in the last 1,000 years. So of course, our culture is going to look different. Of course, it's going to be more progressive. Of course, it's going to be more modern. It's not going to look like yours, and that's okay. But, I mean, at least try to understand instead of just being completely dismissive. That's the part that I don't get.
And the reason she doesn't get it is because their goal is to disarm Black Americans and say, well, we're greater than you are because we have a culture that hasn't produced anything in the last 3,000 years. We are over there begging for food. We got all of the resources in the ground that you can imagine, and we don't know what to do with it. The white man got to come on there and tell us what to do because we're participating. And to be honest, y'all, I don't know what the culture is that they claim they have. When she asked somebody what his culture was, he would say, well, if you're born on Monday, your name is Kofi or something like that. And that's supposed to mean something to a Black American. naming somebody, naming somebody a specific name because they were born on Monday. Well, how many Kofi's do you have in the village? Everybody's named Kofi. Or what? It's stupid. All they're doing is something stupid to disarm Black Americans. Okay, back up. They're doing something that makes sense to them, but it doesn't make sense to us. It's not progressive. It doesn't give anything meaningful. When you can't feed your people, your children are not going to school. You don't know how to manufacture your resources. Your culture is just, it's meaningless. But if you listen to them, they will make you think it's important. When it is not, and it's definitely not important to Black Americans. We have our own way of doing things. We have our own way of naming children. And we are still evolving. We haven't given up and decided we're just going to rely on something that we were doing 300 years ago and never make any progress from that. That's not who we are. We are not the same people, and they're trying to make us into the same people. We are not the same people. You don't have the same goals and objectives in life that they have. We have our own agenda, and for whatever reason, they can't accept that. And I must point this out. The main difference between Africans and Black Americans is that we don't flee our homeland. We don't run away every time a problem comes up, going to somebody else's country to nest, going somewhere where people really don't want you, and then trying to set yourself up as somebody important. We are not the same people. If you're not smart enough to live at home where you have land, culture, language, you're not smart enough to figure out how to live there and make your life work and make it a better place, you are not smart. All right, y'all, check this out.
It hit me why people believe that African Americans don't have any culture. It's because our culture is stolen on such a large scale, and so many people adopt to what we do and the trends and culture that we create that they think it belongs to everybody. They steal it so freely and so easily that they believe it belongs to them. They believe it belongs to everyone. So therefore they don't think we own it. But majority of what the world does globally is because of African Americans. So next time you go to your hip hop class, you start singing the blues, you enjoy your R&B, you look at your sense of fashion and style, you need to think about where that came from. Because I can almost bet you 9 times out of 10, somewhere up in there, it came from us. It's just that we have been stolen from so much from the beginning since we got here. People have taken credit for our inventions. People have taken credit for our thought processes, our theories, anything that we do. 9 times out of 10, for a certain period of time, it was stolen from us. So people would look down on us and say, oh, African Americans don't have any culture. Yes, we do. You're just doing it, so you think it's yours.
It was a function of chattel slavery for everything to be stripped from the enslaved people. So that is partially right what she's saying. So that whatever we did, the white people felt like, well, we're going to take that. Because the Black people would go out and work in the fields all week long. And then on Saturday night, when they had a little time to make their music and dance and have a good time, the white people would come down to the slave quarters, bartering in. So they never had a moment's peace away from the white people. And since they were owned as human beings, the white people had the power to just take it. So even now, everything that Black Americans do, white people will start doing it. And I say this all the time. It can be a hand nod. It can be a handshake. It could be some kind of little catchphrase, and before you know it, everybody else is doing it. That's a sign of genius. That is really a sign of genius, that we are the creators of the world culture. It's a sign of genius, and maybe that's the way it's supposed to be. But what we need to stop doing is arguing with irrelevant people about who we are and what our culture is. They don't have to accept what our culture is. It's our culture. They don't have to accept it. And we don't have to even be concerned about whether or not they accept it. They can say that one time, and that could be the end of it. But the fact that they continue to say that means there is something lacking in them. Because we don't really hear that from anybody but Africans and maybe some of the people of the Caribbean. So that's something lacking in them that they need to keep saying that. And I think that we need to accept that we're not going to be able to get on board with these people because if we don't have culture, nobody has culture. So that's the way I look at it. And y'all let me know what you think about this. Thank you for listening. I'm still working on my headphones. I think I'm going to go to Best Buy and get the Geek Squad over here and check out what I need to be doing. But anyway, thank you for listening and check me out in my next video.